Welcome, bonjour. This is a short video summary of the beginner French class. Whether you attend the class or not, you can follow along with the full class notes posted in the description below. Also, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to help Saint-Esprit develop this program further. In the first French class, we saw how to create a simple French sentence using a subject pronoun, a conjugated verb, and a noun with an indefinite article. In English, for example, we can make the sentence, he has a cat. So what are these? First, the subject pronouns in English are I, you, he, she, we, and they. In French, they are je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. For now, we won't pronounce the S at the end of these words. More on that later. And note that the subject je will become J apostrophe if the verb starts with a vowel. Also, in my class, we only use tu for you if we talk to one person, and vous if we talk to more than one person. And once you are familiar with using vous, we will see when we can use it for one person. It's more or less when you first meet someone or to show respect to an elder. Here we're all friends, so we use tu. Also, remember that a proper noun can be used as a subject. Fred can be a subject of a sentence. You can say, he has a cat, or Fred has a cat. This means that if we see a proper noun, we use the conjugation of the verb for he and she. Second, we will learn how to conjugate the two most important verbs in French using the subject pronouns we just saw. The two most important verbs in French, also known as the auxiliaries, are être, which means to be, and avoir, which means to have. Être and avoir is the infinitive form of the verb. That is to say, the unconjugated form of the verb. We need to learn how to conjugate them in relation to each subject pronoun. For that, we will use the present tense today. For learning purpose, I will only read the masculine third person of he and they, il and il. But of course, you can say elle, or even the new il for non-binary people. So, the verb être goes this way. Je suis, tu es, il est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. Now, the verb avoir goes this way. J'ai, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont. You may have heard something odd when I pronounced the last three. Remember that I said that we wouldn't pronounce the S at the end of nous, vous, and il, elle. Well, if the verb starts with a vowel, we make what's called a liaison, which is linking the two words by pronouncing this S with the Z sound, like zebra. This is why we say nous avons, vous avez, ils ont. Finally, we will need a noun with an indefinite article. What's an indefinite article? Well, there are two types of articles, indefinite and definite. We will see more on the later, but basically, when you say a cat, we are talking about an indefinite cat. And when we say the cat, we are talking about a specific cat. So it is a definite cat. So the indefinite articles in English are a or an, as a cat or an apple. Because French nouns have genders attributed to them, the indefinite article changes depending on that gender. My best advice for you is to learn your vocabulary with the indefinite article. This way you will learn the gender of any word automatically. What I mean by that is that instead of learning cat in French is chat, learn a cat in French is un chat. We use the indefinite article un because chat is a masculine noun. The feminine indefinite article is une. So a window is une fenêtre. Because it is a feminine noun in French, we use une. There is also the partitive article des, which is used when a noun is plural and indefinite or uncountable. More on that later, but basically, plural noun without an article in English, like fries, we'll use des in French, des frites. Here is a small list of vocabulary for you to learn and make sentences with what we learned today. They are all nouns with their indefinite article. Un chat, which means a cat. Un chat. Un chien, which means a dog. Un chien. Une voiture, which means a car. Une voiture. And some nouns can be masculine or feminine. Sometimes the masculine will mean something different than the feminine. But in the following example, it just so happens that you can have a female friend or a male friend. So, the male friend will be un ami, and the female friend is going to be une amie. Now, using all that we've learned today, you are able to make any sentence you would like using the following table. Of course, you can also look up any nouns you'd like and create your own sentence. Good luck, and see you on the next one.